This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening, all. Once again, can you confirm that my voice is audible to everyone? Is there no disturbance?
Yes, sir, it's audible.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So in the last session, we were being discussed about how we can be able to go execute with the Google My Business profile. So what are the important things, how you can create, how you can edit, how you can be able to update the informations on adding the products, adding the services information, adding the user access, user accounts creation, how to delete your account. With all this information, we have been completed with Google My Business profile. Then next we started with how we can be able to create with the Google Forms. So we were started with logging into the docs.google.com/forms, or you can go for the Google Apps list and you can be able to choose it as a forms. So here we have a templates where you can be able to choose out of it, and if you click on template gallery, you will be having a few more template types. So either you can choose any one of these and you can edit the same, or you can be able to click on the blank form and you can be able to create your own forms in the way how you want it. So we have been started with a blank form where we created and we named it as inquiry form. So if you want to give any description, that do you want to give any kind of a information that how you can be able to, what this inquiry form is related to, any kind of instructions if you want to give it, you can be able to give it in the form description. So I'll say that fill this form with your personal details and will serve you at the best. Okay, so I can consider this as my description of the form. If you want to change the text in any of this format, like you can keep it in the bold, italic style, underline it. Then do you want to keep it with the bullet points? If you have a terms and condition, even that also you can be able to add it. So this was for the form description. Then the next thing is, what are the common questions do we ask with the people to fill up any kind of form? So can you list me out? Either you can unmute yourself and you can tell me, or you can put it in the chat also. So what are the common questions in a form we can be able to ask for one by one? What it could be? Name, very good. Email ID, good. Okay, so if it is related to the college, so combinations, very good. Mobile number, location, very good. So I request, so not with the same people, I request the other people also to join us. So, okay, good. Age, what else? Date of birth, very good. Gender, okay. Okay, I'll take into consideration of this unique option or questions. Okay, parents name, that's nice. Fine. So we may not use with all this kind of options. It depends upon on what are we creating the forms. Is it on selling a product? Is it on giving the services? Is it are we doing a survey? Okay. So whatever you are given, it is on your experiences, whatever the forms you people might have been filled up in that what they have been asked. Good. So happy for your suggestions and thanks for responding. So I expect the other people also to join us. Okay. So let's go with one by one. So the very common question what we are going to ask with the people is to give their name. Okay. So when we are going to give the name, so we are not going to ask only the name. If you have been observed, so either they may ask it to fill it up with the full name, or they are going to split the name into two parts or three parts. So it will be asked as first name, middle name, and last name, or it could be first name and last name. So very rarest cases with a middle name they may ask. So why it has to be asked in this format? Why not we can say as only name? Why can't we say only as a full name? Why we have to ask for first name and last name? Because when we are going to do it, we are whatever the information we collected through this form, it is not only used only to save their details with us. So we are going to make use of this information and we are going to use it for the other marketing techniques. So in that one of it or in the two ways we can be able to use it is that it could be on SMS marketing. So even though it is very less in use, so for some kind of brands or for some kind of uh, the product selling, or it could be on for audiences, we may choose it with the SMS marketing, or the very common and which is the fastest and it is easiest way of marketing and reaching out our information to the people, it could be email marketing. So when we are going to do with such kind of marketing process, we are going to use it this databases. Okay. So for that case, here we are going to take with the first name and last name information. So let me go and type it as first name. Okay. So I have been named it, and this should be filled up with the what way? Is it a short answer or is it a paragraph or with the multiple choices? So which one could be the better option to be chosen out of this list of options for the first name? Can anyone answer? So which option for the first name should be chosen out of this list of options? Very good. So by default, the Google itself, it is going to choose with the relevant option. Okay. So in case if you want to change, you can change it. But if it is applicable, then you keep it with that option. Okay. So the next thing is here it says that first name, is it mandatory field to be filled up or not? If you keep it the required option as on, it says that it is a mandatory. The people whoever is going to open this form, they have to fill up this particular line. So if I keep it required as off, so it is optional to the people. So whether they can fill it up or they can leave it blank, but still the form will be accepted. It can be saved. Okay. So we have to keep it the options which are mandatorily to be collected from the audiences. Okay. So I'll make it as yes. So it's required. Now, do you want to give any explanation on this? You can be able to go to this three dots, which is going to take it for more options. And here you have an option of description. Suppose if you want to explain how this has to be filled up, so you can give it as a description. So I don't think so for this option it is required. So let's not use with the description. And I'll let you know in the coming options how we can be able to make use of this response validation. Okay, so we have been taken the name, we have taken the option, and we have taken with the required option mandatory to be filled up. Okay, so next, let's click on it. So add question. So I can be able to add a question and I can type it freshly. Suppose if I want to have a similar type of question, a very small changes, I want to add it. Now, the next option I want to keep it as first name and the is going to say that, which is going to say that last name. So either I can click on the add question and I can write it freshly, or I can have an option that I can duplicate this question. So if I click on duplicate question, so I'll be getting the same information repeated, only where I have to change it, I will change it. Okay. So you can see that the first name and the last name, it is mandatory to be filled up. So the next question is, so what to be asked? So let's ask for email ID. So email ID. Now, is that in the email ID, I can type anything and it should be accepted? So what is the mandatory thing it should be there? To consider that the information what is written on this line, is it considered as an email ID? What makes the difference between the other information to email ID information, the difference? How we can consider that it is an email ID? With what kind of character? Yes. So if you are not written with the at the rate, then dot, either it is .com or .in, anything it could be, either it could be Gmail, Yahoo, anything. At the rate and the dot, these two things, it is going to tell that whether is it a email ID information or not. Okay. Now, suppose if I want to check even without giving the at the rate, will the form will get filled up. So you can see there is an option called preview. So you can click on preview option, and you can be able to check by filling this form, is it accepting or not. So let me see. So if I type anything and if I click anywhere, if it is not giving any kind of error, means that this information is accepted by the form. It is supposed to give the error, so it is not in the right format. Okay, so to check this, we have gone to preview of it. Now to make it the condition that it has to be there with this particular format, so we need to go for this more options with the three dots and go with the response validation. Click on the response validation, and here you will be able to find the list of options. In this, I will choose it as text, and here the second one you have to choose it as email format. So I'm telling that the email ID should be within this format only. So there is the predefined coding. You are giving the coding for the option what you have created. And in case if they have been entered any wrong information with the wrong format, so what should be the error message it has to appear. So that I'm going to type it here. Please enter proper mail address with at the rate symbol. Okay, so whatever you want, you can be able to give the error message.
So,
Yeah,
can you repeat the email ID thing? You said that it has to be in a certain format. So, how do you get the answer in a
so
certain format? Where do you put
yeah,
it?
so how did we go for this? Is when you are going to write a question, can you see next to the required there is a three dots mark?
Yes.
This three dots is nothing but the more options. So click on this. You have an option called response validation.
Okay.
Means whatever the response you are going to get it on the form. So that response has to be validated based on these conditions.
Okay, sir.
Okay, it should be in the text format and it should be in the email formats type. So this email format type, it has already been predefined.
How do you add that, the text and the email?
See, I just went over here. I had a list over here, and
Okay.
I'll select as a text. And here in the list, I'm choosing it as email.
Okay, got it.
Is that cleared your doubt, Ma?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Now let me go to the preview. So may I know who is talking now? So now if I'm going to type it with any wrong format, so if I click anywhere. Can you see the error message? Is that understood, Mark?
Yes, I got it.
Okay. So now if I type it as at the rate, so even at the rate, will it give you the answer? No. So if I'm going to give it, so something I'll give it .com. So can you see here? Is it accepting?
Yes.
Okay. That at the rate and dot. After
Okay.
dot, you can put it .com or .in. Let's see. See, even this is accepted. This at the rate and this dot, these two are important, which says that it is in the email ID format.
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine then. Okay, so hope everyone have been understood with this. How we can be able to tell to the Google form to be taken with the email ID format. So the next question. So what should be the next question? So let's try with contact number or mobile number. So now, if I give it as only mobile number, so if I don't give the condition, it will accept even ABCD. If you give it, it will take. Whether the mobile number will be in the text format, so it will be in the
Number format.
number format. And how many digits?
10.
10 digits, right? So I have to tell to the Google form, please validate it, the information. It should be there within numbers and it should be of 10 digits. So again, so we can be able to go to the response validation, and here I don't choose it as number. Why? Even though I say that mobile number, it should be there in the number format, but this number option, if I select it and if I go to the sub option, so what it says means it is going to be used only when this number, whatever the value you are going to get entered. So is it, can we say that the total value of this numbers should be in this value? Is there any specific value is going to come when we add up or when we multiply, when we subtract it? Whether we all get the same value of any mobile number if you calculate it? So suppose if my mobile number is 9845481058. So if I keep on adding all this individual digits and finally I may come into the value of 150. Is that all your mobile numbers, if you people add it with each individual number, will you be able to get that particular 150 value only?
No, sir.
No. So if you have such kind of questions which is going to give the answer in that way, in that case you can choose it as number. But here I have to tell that it should be there with the numbers and it should be there with the 10 digits only. So let's go here and select the option of regular expression. So go to the regular expression and this has to be selected as matches. So what it should match? So I'm going to give you the condition. So it has to match up to that condition. So what that condition is, so I'll open the square bracket, and the each digit whatever we are entering, it should be within the 0 to 9 digits only, right? So each digit, it should be starting from 0 to 9 within this digits only. Then use a shift and use the same brackets, which will turn into flower bracket, and I will say it should be within 10 digits. Okay, so I'll just copy this and I'll put it to you people on the chat so that you can understand how this. Okay, so there's the condition what I have asked the Google to consider it. So I'll say in case if it is entered wrong, enter only numbers in 10 digits. Okay, so this is going to be the condition. So I'll take the screenshot and I'll put it in the WhatsApp group so that you people can be able to follow it. So keep it as a reference and you try it. Okay, so this is what the condition is. So now if I try to enter the mobile number details, if I type any text, it is going to give the error. Suppose if I type any numbers with more than 10 digits, it gives an error. If it is lesser than 10 digit, it gives an error. But if you are going to enter with exactly 10 digits, so it doesn't give an error. Is that everyone are clear here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. So our questions were started with first name, last name, email ID, mobile number. Then you can add some more questions. So now, what could be the next question? Let's take it with ourselves. So I got a list of questions over there, which goes okay. Uh, which course combination interested with? Okay. So before this, I'll add one more type of question over there. So let me take it as gender. So when I choose it as gender, I'm getting the option to choose it as multiple choice. So that means I can give you the option. Okay. So I'm going to keep these two options. So other, when you are going to choose it, it is like commenting. So that means you don't have any option to be selected on the above. So you want to tell, is there anything else you have? So there it is like a commenting option. So let me not choose it as other. So let me have two choice. So how does it look? You can see here. So it will look like this. So they have to choose any one year. Okay. So in case if you have any such kind of question where you are supposed to answer any one, means you have to choose any one. So in case if I want to be chosen with multiple option. So for example, I'll add one more question. Uh, Let me say that I hope everyone are able to hear me properly. There is no any kind of screen issue is not there. Okay, so let me add a question. Which are the recommended course for a degree student? Okay, let me keep this as a question. Now I'll give a list of options. So I'll say MS Word, MS Excel, Tally, Prime, SAP, FI, digital marketing, Power BI. So I may be asking with a question that if you have anything else, you can be able to list it. Now, in this question, if you see with, is that I have to allow the person to select any one of the option, or should I allow the person to choose more than one option? So please tell me with this. Should I allow the audience or the student who is taking up this form to be filled up, whether they should choose any one of it, or should I give it for more than one of it?
Anyone.
Is that any one is enough for us? If you learn one subject, it's enough for a student that they can be able to upgrade with the one skill. Okay, so let me change little bit. Which are the industry? Okay, demanded courses for a degree student. So now, whether it is going to change with your answer, is that any one is enough, or should be taken more than one? Is that any one is attending my class right now? I'm expecting some answers. Let me check. Is there anything in the chat? Okay, I have one as a more than one. Okay, see, in this question, I have to choose any one or both in the gender.
One.
It should be one. Okay, so when I want to choose it any one, I am going to choose it as multiple choice option. In case if I want to choose more than one option, so I'm not supposed to use the multiple choice. I have to use another option which is called as check boxes. So when I'm going to choose it as check boxes, it will allow the users to select more than one options from the list. So let's check it out. So if you see here, when I go to the gender, it is there with a rounded shape. So either I can choose any one. It will not take for more than one. Suppose if I am choosing it with this question, so you can see it will allow to select more than one option. So you have to understand that which option to be used in which type of questions. Is there multiple choice that it will allow only one to be chosen? Is it check boxes which has to be allowed to select more than one option? You have to choose it any one. It's mandatory. Is that understood with the difference between the multiple choice and the check boxes? Okay. So if you are clear with that, please type it as clear. If any question to be asked, you can ask me. Okay. Thanks for the clarification. Thank you all for responses. Now, let's see another type of question. So let me go over here. So which course combination interested with? Okay. So here I'm going to choose with another type of option. So that is, let me go for multiple choice. So here if I wanted to select any one of the option out of the row and the column, okay, so it is mandatory for each row there will be multiple columns options, and you are allowed to select any one of the column in the row. Okay, so let me show it with practical. So for example, I'll take it as BCom, BBA, BSc. So there could be BA students also. So now let me take the column wise. MS Office. Okay, let me split it out with this. So MS Word, MS Excel, PowerPoint, Tally Prime,
Rain jackets మరి ச்சே, இன்னும் நான் 10
SAP.
days வெயிட் பண்ணணும் என் லைசன்ஸ்க்கு.
So SAP F5, Power BI, full stack. Okay, let me not go for full stack. I'll take it as data science, data analytics. Make sure everyone are in the mute. Okay. So I've been added with the row wise and the column wise. Let's see how does this looks like. So this is how it looks like. Means for every row there are multiple columns options. So you have to choose any one of it. So now you tell me whether I should give it any one option to be chosen out of this list of topics, or the list of subjects, or should I allow for more than one subject for each of this row? Is that for BCom students, any one of the course is enough or more than one? Same thing for BBA, BSc and the BA students. Should I give any only one choice or should I give it multiple choice from this column details? So hope everyone are able to understand my question over here. Should I repeat it anything? Is that any one option should I give it for each of this row to be chosen or should I give it more than one choice to be chosen? One or multiple choice? Okay, it's more than one. So whenever you have it for more than one, you change it to checkbox grid. So it is multiple choice grid, change it to checkbox grid. So now if you check it out, it will allow you to change it for more than one. Okay, yes. So in case if you have a list of options and you don't want to give it or you don't want to show the people with multiple options in the list, I just want them to select it from the drop down button means. So for example, instead of multiple choice, I can give it as drop down. So you can see that how does it shows over there. So it is not going to list out all the options are available. It will ask to choose the options what are available. So they can select this and they can choose it any one option. Okay. So this is how the drop down button will work. Okay. So how does that short answer? Paragraph you can give it as an address or if you want them to describe anything, so you can take it as a paragraph for that. Multiple choice by giving a multiple options. In that they have to select any one only. Check boxes they have to choose more than one. Drop down it will hide with all the options and you will be given with the drop down symbol. If you click on that you can choose any one of it so that only it is going to be get selected. The next it is going to ask you or you are allowed to upload the files. You can be able to upload the files with what size, what type of files you have to give the details over there. So suppose if you are going to ask them to fill up the form to get registered for any of your program and you want to collect their documents and that documents has to be uploaded in the file format, the particular file formats if you wanted, so you can choose it as file upload. Okay, so for example I'll add it one question and I can choose it as file upload. So here it is going to ask you whatever the file it is going to get updated through this form, it is going to get saved in the Google Drive. So let me continue. So you can tell that what file has to be uploaded. Then it is going to ask you, do you want to tell the people to upload the file of the particular type? So you can enable this option. You can ask them to choose which type of file they have to upload with. So for more information, if you want to explain it, you can ask or feed it up in the description. You can give a description over there. Then, how many number of files can be allowed to upload it? So you can tell, is it one file or more than one file? You can see that number of files you can allow them to upload it. The next, maximum file size. So what should be the every file size you are allowed to upload? So you can choose it. The size, it is minimum 1 MB, and the maximum you can allow them to upload it is 10 GB. But make sure that your Google Drive size, how much you have it with. Okay, so you can create a folder on your Google Drive where all these files has to be uploaded with. Okay, so this was on file upload option. Then we have seen the option of multiple choice grid and checkbox grid. So that is when the data what you are entering, if it is in the row and the column side, so it should be in which format? Is it in the multiple choice wise or checkbox wise? Then the next option is, so you can be able to give the date. So generally, so I'll delete this in case if I don't want that question to be shown over there, I can delete it over there. So the next one is I can ask to fill it up with the date. So in case if any appointment has to be scheduled, so you can be able to choose the date on what date you want an appointment to be scheduled. So we can say it as date of appointment to be scheduled. So we can give the option for them. They can choose the date with month, day and the year. And if you want to add it as a timing also, you can choose it with time to be provided. Suppose if you wanted together the date and time, so you can go here in the more options. You can say that in the date itself you can add the time. So together if you want to make it. Even this choice also is there. In case of time, you have an option of duration. So that means, for example, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 1 hour, like that if you want it. you can be able to give in that way. Okay, so like this you can be able to try with each of the options and try to feed it up. Is that everyone understood with the options what we discussed on preparing the Google Forms? Any questions, any doubts? Please clarify it. If you are clear, you can say me as clear. Okay, thank you for the responses. Now, we got to know how to create a form. So now, the people who are going to fill up this form, so this can be used for survey or suggestions or to create the leads also we can use this. So the form can be used for conducting a survey and taking the suggestions and taking with their leads, their contact details. So it is also possible that Google Forms can be converted into the question paper. Hence, I can create a question paper, online exam question paper to the Google Forms. I think most of you people might be experienced with such kind of the exams taking through the Google Forms online in the COVID situation. So that it could be a unit test or it could be a monthly or a quarterly test, something. Your situations were there online in the COVID time. So might be at that time you might have been experienced with this kind of Google Forms filling. Okay, so it can be converted into question paper. How it is possible means, so by going to the settings option, so there is an option called make this as a quiz. So you can click on this button, so switch on, and you can see with the options, choose it whichever the options are applicable to your kind of question paper, any conditions. So please make sure, and if you want to fix at what marks it has to be given for each of the question, so that you are supposed to give it over here. So here it says that each question carries 5 marks. So this you can change it for 1 mark or 2 mark or 5 marks or 10 marks. So for whatever the marks you want with. Okay. So you can be able to turn this Google form into question paper. But this will get applied only for the multiple choice questions. Okay. So wherever you see it is there with multiple choice or the checkbox option, means more than one answer option if you are given. So only those kind of questions will act like a question paper. Okay. So if I go this, it's a commonly asked. Okay. Why it is like that? Because here the answer key we have to give it the exact way it has to be. Okay. So suppose if I have this like a short answer itself is my answer. So I can tell it for such kind of questions which is going to be like expand. So what is pan? What is the full form of pan? So if I've written the answer over there in the answer key, so what is the full form of pan as a permanent account number? And if anyone is going to write it as permanent account number, then only it is going to match up and it is going to give the answer. But most of the times we are going to apply it only on the multiple choices. So I can go here and I can say that which is the right answer for this question. So I'll say that I'll go for answer key and I have to choose it which one is the right answer. So if anyone selects the second option, then you are not getting that marks. So if it is selected with that right option, yes, you'll get the marks. So like this. So if you are not interested with the question papering, then you can make this go to the settings, make this a quiz as not applicable or switch off. Is that everyone are clear how we can be able to convert our Google form into question paper? Any question you can raise it. Good. So the next thing is when this form is filled up, so either as a question paper, either as a lead form or a submission form, any type of form, the people have started to fill it up. Okay. Once it is been filled up, so go to the responses. So you can, okay. So you can be able to see the responses in this list. So if the answers what you are going to get it, it is going to show what the responses they have been made, what the answers they have been chosen, everything it is going to list out over here. But here, what the report you get, it is only it is viewable. You cannot be able to download this data. The responses what you are going to get it on this screen in the responses, it is not a downloadable data. So if I want to save this responses in another place where I can be able to download it and do the changes in whatever the way I want it or I want to make use of it. So you have an option of turning this data into Google Sheets. So go to the link to Sheets and the form name it appears. Click on create. So it will generate one Google Sheets which is similar to the Excel, and you can see that all your questions and the person who has been answered for this, it is going to show it over here. Okay, so the answers it shows with this, it is also possible to know that when this form has been filled up at what timestamp will tell on what date and at what uh, timing it has been filled up. Date and the time is going to show over here. So which is going to help us out whether the people have been filled up on particular date and time only. Okay, suppose if you have been made it any kind of time limit, and if the person is going to tell that I have been filled up within the time limit given by us, so this it is going to tell us the timestamp, that is date and timing exactly when have been accepted our form after filling. Okay, so which can be downloaded. You can download this form, you can download it, and you can use it for external use. Okay, so this is one way of collecting the database of your audience. Okay, so now to make this form little bit attractive, so how we can be able to do it? So I can go over here. There is an option called customize theme. So I can click on this and I can be able to change the font style. You can see here how it changes. So that was the header and the text. You can see the text, whatever it has been filled up in the answer that comes in this format. And question, do you want the header image to be there? So I can choose it. So either I can choose it with the available images or I can download it of my own also. Okay. So if you go to the themes, these are the default themes. If you want to upload of your own image, you can add it, or the Google images, that is photos what you have taken. If it is saved with the same mail ID, so it is going to list. Okay. So let me go to this. Okay. So if I choose this, so you can see that it is going to be filled up in this way. And the color, what the combination you have it, so you can change this, and the background color also you can change it. Okay, so this is how you can be able to bring the displaying with the colorful, so and the style of fonts you want it, so that you can be able to change it by using the theme option. Okay, so this is how it looks. Let me see with the review. Okay, so like this it is going to be shown. If anyone is opening my link, it opens the form in this way. Is that clear, everyone? How did we prepare this kind of a form with multiple options and changing the display of the form? Okay, so now and finally, in case if you want this form to be added with few more features. So for example, if I share this link of this form to any of you people, definitely you may not fill it up within the time period which we request you to do it. Okay. So if I want to keep it as a timer that this form, once it is opened, it has to be filled up within this particular time limitations. So can I be able to give it? No. By default, the options it's not allowed. So what you have to do it is you have to go here with the more options, and there is an option called get add-ons. So if you click on this get add-ons, so it is going to give you the list of plugins which helps you out to add an extra feature to your Google form. Okay, so what we can do it example, I'll say that I wanted time limit. So relevant to the time limit, so I have some add-ons which I can apply it. Okay, what does this does for us? So it says that you can be able to put a limitation to your form. So it will start, the timer ticks, and you have to end it up within that time period. So if you are interested to add such kind of an add-ons, you can just click on install on this. Okay, there are certain free add-ons and certain it may be on chargeable basis. So look into one of it and add to it and try it out. Okay, so this is if you want to add an extra features to your form. If you're okay with everything, yes, fine. So now finally I have to publish this. So if I want to make it on live, so this form should be used. So I'll take it as a publish and I'll publish it. So it is ready. So now you can see that there is a link. A link is generated directly and click on shorten URL. So this URL you can use it anywhere you want it. Okay. So I think in the previous session we discussed in the Google My Business. So can we be able to use it? Yes, you can take this link and you can add it over there in any of the post or on the any description. So it will be a clickable link so they can be able to fill up the form by clicking on the link. Okay, so let me see that to test you people. I'll put it in your group. So let me see how many of them are going to fill it up and I'll show you how it is going to be generating the report. Is that clear everyone with the Google Forms option? Any doubt? Okay, good. So with this, I'll just add one more point. See, now the Google form, whatever I have been created, n number of questions. So it is showing in only one page. Okay. So when you people are going to create it for the survey purpose, so there may be an intention will be on different subject you want to know in one Google form itself. So suppose if you want to feed it up with more questions, but not similar to the same category of question, you want to have a different category of questions. If you want to shift it to different categories, you have an option over here on the right hand side where you are going to select with the add question. At last, you have an option of add question. Oh, sorry, add section. So if you are going to click on this add section, okay, so it is going to add it over here as a separate section. So what will happen, you may have it the questions with the different sections, it is going to show in a different page. So now I made two sections over here. Second question section, I'll keep it as mm, I'll say academic section. I'll give some name, that's it. Okay, so now if I see the preview, you can see that the first sections it is going to be there in the one page, and the other set of questions it will be there in the second page. So like this, page by page, you can be able to keep it with the questions. Is that clear? Understood with this? How to create a Google form with the multiple pages. Okay. So in case if you want to add the images for each of the question, you have it, you can add the image, or in between the form separately if you want to add an image, you have an option of add image, add video content also. Okay, so try to make use of this. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to delete this section. I don't want to keep this section separately, so let me have it. Oh, sorry. Okay, so let it be like this only. Okay, I see someone has filled up. Good. Very good, Syed. You have taken initiative. And let me check the response also. You can see it has been filled up. Okay. So by this we have been completed the concept of Google Forms. So in the next class we are going to start with a new topic. So we'll meet up tomorrow. Thank you all. Have a wonderful time.